And in living color.
Awesome.
I got to stop make references to In Living Color because you're not a watcher of it back in the day.
I'll have to go binge watch a bunch of episodes and get up to speed.
Alrighty then.
That's right. So everyone, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's the awesomest thing happening in your life right now, Joshua?
I'm really pumped about being in action and what we're seeing and the results that are starting to pour in, and I'm pumped about that, frankly.
Me too. We sent a little invitation out to my email list last night and this morning about, we called it a secret invitation. And it has to do with what Joshua and I have been working on for the last 4 or 5 months for entrepreneurs and email marketers. And very, very, very exciting stuff. I'm getting a ton of people writing back, ton of people saying, hey, tell me more, right? And maybe we'll talk a little bit about that today. But I'm very excited about that as well. It's really good to have, it's really great. It's really great to have a platform. It's really great to have a large, responsive email list of people who've been on my list for years, people who've been paying attention to me for years, people who trust me, and I can send them an email and have dozens and dozens or hundreds or thousands of responses, depending on the nature of the email, of people who are usually interested. Not always. Sometimes I come up with a really dumb idea. But a lot of times, right, you come up with an idea, ask people if they're interested, and it's just you get a swarm of response. And it's really, really, really great to have that asset. I'm so blessed. So You know what? Thank you, Joshua, for teaching me about the idea of building your own platform, your own media channel, your own email list, whatever it happens to be. Early on in my marketing career, because if I hadn't learned that, I wouldn't have ever started List Crusade. And if I didn't start List Crusade, I probably would have given up on the internet a bunch of years ago,
Yeah.
So,
thank you for the thank yous and the kudos, but I don't feel it's justified. But nonetheless, it's much appreciated.
It's because it's Josh-tified.
Josh-tified.
That's right.
Dudes, painted up art. That's got to be Jean. Yeah, that's the picture of Jean. Dudes, she must be at the bikini shop today.
That's right.
So she's watching it on YouTube.
That's right. Awesome, everybody. So welcome. We're going to talk today a little bit about attracting perfect customers and clients, how that is done in Joshua's experience, in my experience, and how you can apply some of these same principles in order to attract more and better. And when I say better, I mean customers and clients that will buy more of your products and services, customers and clients that you enjoy interacting with, talking to, and doing business with, customers and clients that come back again and again and again, customers and clients that will refer other customers and clients to you, people that you want to have part of your business life for as long as you're in business and maybe beyond, right? Those are what I call perfect customers and clients.
Yeah.
So
people that you enjoy being around and that you would hang out with regardless. It's kind of like, that was me, by the way, inside of the Art of Email Marketing.
Nice.
I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. Choo choo.
We'll find that train. We've got a runaway train of thought. So, how to attract perfect customers and clients? First question, right? If you're starting a new business, let's just say for argument's actually, for anyone that's watching right now, I want to know, are you A, starting a new business, B, interested in growing an existing business, or C, you've never had a business and you don't intend to? A, B, or C? Are you starting a new business, growing an existing business, or are you do you have zero interest in business and you don't even know why you're watching right now? Right? Or are you just friends with one of us and you like
see what we're doing?
Make dad jokes, right? So Jean says B. Awesome. Thank you, Jean. So when we're talking about building a business, and let's just say we're starting a new business, or our existing business is just struggling, and we need to figure out how to take things up a notch, take them to the next level. We got another B is growing an existing business. Cool, from somebody in the group. Georgina, hi guys, love you too, Georgina. Great to see you.
Hi, Georgina. Mohammed FX in the group said
Awesome.
B.
All right, so great. So then let's just focus on growing an existing business, because everybody that's chatting right now is growing an existing business, which is great, honestly. So because if you have the existing business, you already have, to some degree, know who you're selling to, and you already have products or services that people are probably willing to buy to some degree. And so just improving your marketing alone can make you a lot more money, right?
Sure. Yeah,
but
without a doubt.
How do you know, like, attracting the perfect customers and clients? I think that the first step is really getting as clear as possible on who you're trying to attract. Is that the place that you would start, or would you start at it from a different angle?
It would definitely would have been where I started. Absolutely.
So Joshua, your audio is all messed up, and then it kind of clipped out. Try talking again.
Hello.
Okay, you're back up to speed. Yeah, I don't think anyone heard what you just said.
I said back in the day, I would have started and ended with just thinking about the ideal client that I wanted to attract and how to appeal to them, to have the largest aspect of them, wanting to answer what it is that I'm doing, so that I would, kind of mold myself and turn myself inside out to appeal to them. These days, I start with, what kind of business do I want to have? Where do I want it to go? And in light of, the kind of people that I want to work with, and then go to the who, because I think it's really important to have that filter over everything else, so that when you go to start attracting, you're very clear about, just because what you're talking about appeals to, the whole group of people, I wouldn't necessarily, it doesn't mean that you want all of those people that you're appealing to work with, because they're just not, they don't sync up with your personality, or they have different goals or different ways of learning or communicating, blah, 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 blah. Just having that as a statement, to be clear about, to kind of have as an overlay on all of your targeting, all of your, thinking about the who and what their life, the psychographics and the demographics of your offer and their life, and filtered over that. And really, frankly, what it comes down to, if you want an asset, if you want a CIA, a continuity income generating asset, rather than just a finite moment in time, transactional, kind of like day trading, where you can make big bucks, but like a campaign, when it runs its course, it burns out, and then you're back to the drawing board. If you want something like you have, Telman, where you have a true asset, and the reason that you can put out these crazy ideas and have some people raise their hand and some people not, and whatever, the reason why you can do that across, a wide spectrum of ideas, is because of your platform, the way that they've come to bond with you, the way that they've come to know you. And when I say platform, I mean something very different than I think the typical people mean by platform. I don't mean having a platform to speak from, like, these followers of us on these live streams, or your friends. That's not what I mean by a platform. What I mean by a platform is, what do they think of when they think of you? How is it positioned in their mind and in their heart when they come to think of you? And if you have a clear platform that resonates with them when they think about you, what you stand for, what is the stake in the ground, what will you, what mountain are you willing to die on and be okay telling everybody, when you're not when it's not right for them, those types of things. When you're clear about that, and you can't help but be that, and that becomes, I believe, your platform. It's a mental and it's mind share and heart share combined together in the minds and hearts of your followers. I've just said a ton.
You really have. So let's see if we can break it down a little bit, right? And so this word platform can be interpreted so many ways. It really can. And so I think about it like I have my own news station. Okay, just kind of like break it down. Yes, it's about your relationship with the people. Yes, it changes over time. Yes, the technology that you're using is part of it. It's not the end all be all. But for me, like I have my own news station or my own entertainment station, depending on how you want to look at it. And
right.
At one point, like if, let's say we're just going to take a common news. I don't even watch the news, for the record. But like, let's say CNN, regardless of like all of the like upheaval that you're probably feeling right now that I even mentioned a news station. Joshua, you might want to, oh, you're back now. So CNN, at one point it was strictly a cable television station, right? But it put out the news that, it felt worthy of putting out and still does. But then I suspect, I don't know this for sure, but I suspect CNN probably has a radio station for people who tune in on the radio. CNN, of course, has a website, and CNN has social media presence on all the different, or on many of the different social media platforms that are out there, all of which is basically broadcasting the same news. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, again, this isn't a political conversation. I'm not telling you whether they're broadcasting the real news or the fake news. Of course, they're getting paid off, right? Like we know this. So, point is, they're broadcasting the news that they're choosing to broadcast, one way or the other. We all do, right?
Yep.
And your platform is all of these things. It's the technology, it's the relationship with the audience, it's the way in which you're connected to other social media platforms outside of your personal platform, and the way you have all of this set up. But at the end of the day, once people are watching your news on your channel and you have the ability to communicate directly with them, for me, that's how I think about it. That's how I think about my platform. And it can ultimately be, I can communicate with my people, with my followers, sure, my fans, my clients, my customers. I mean, you could just call them your fans. I can communicate with my fans through a variety of platforms or through a variety of mediums, through a variety of technology. Most of the time I choose email, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would even take it a step further if you want to talk about the mechanics of it. And instead of it being just your channel on TV, or whatever, that it's an entire network, and you're the producer of multiple different shows. But when I think about like the prime example that I think about often when I think about platforms is like Ellen DeGeneres. Mm-hmm. She talks about her show and that she's got a huge platform because she's got tons of followers on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, and she's got lots of good ratings and people tune into her show and they like her. But I don't believe that that's her true platform. That reach is not her platform. Her platform is what she stands for, frankly. Mm-hmm. And in my mind, what her platform is, be kind to one another. That's how she ends each show. Kindness and, mutual listening, and listen to each other, be kind to each other, be respectful. You can disagree, that's what she stands for. Now, people that resonate with that message like her show and gravitate to her and her various outlets that she can attract people. That's her platform, I believe. And when you start to think about Facebook, well, Facebook is an outlet. And really, in my mind, I think of Facebook not as a platform, but as a feeder to your platform, a way of being strategic and attracting people in. But if you just think about Facebook as a whole, there's nothing unbiased or news-like about it, right? because what Facebook's algorithm does is gives you more of what you already believe to be true and more of what you already like and more of what you want to see.
Right.
That's what it's designed to do. So, that's why everything that you see in your feed has to do with how you think. And everybody's so smart because they think like you, right? But it's very different when you think about like how Google or YouTube is set up. It's a different environment. People are going on, Facebook to connect with people that believe like they believe, and that, to be entertained, and to feel less lonely, right? And people go to YouTube and Google, for example, primarily for solutions, for information, to learn how to do something, for opportunities first. So it's a very different environment that you're feeding to and from when you're building your own platform, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as you're building your platform, as you're figuring out what your messaging is and the types of business, the details of the business that you want to create, type of people you want to do business with, once you get more clarity around that, what are some thoughts or ways that you can then turn around and start attracting ideal clients and customers into your business? So let's say you have some clarity. Maybe it's base level clarity, but like if you're watching right now and you have a business or you're starting a business, what we want to know is, whether it's just a little bit or whether it's a lot, what do you know about the type of client or customer that you want to attract? So my question for you is, who do you want to attract more of? The more detail you can give us, the better. But if you're unclear, give us as much detail as you can. Who or what type of people do you want to attract more of into your business, right? And when you're thinking of this, if it's an existing business, I'd like you to think about the people who've already given you money. Okay? Just think about what they have in common. What are some common patterns?
Two primary ways of dividing this up, right? Demographics, the male, female, where they live, their income levels, blah, 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 blah. All of that, that carves out. Their psychographics are, what do they like? Where are they, what are their interests? What do they hate? Those types of things. And I'm just going to also add, it's useful, and most people don't think about this, but who do you want to repel? Like, who do you absolutely not want as a client or a customer or as a prospect, because it's just, you can't serve them well. And they're going to be frustrated with you and you're going to be frustrated with them. So, like, we spend so much time trying to think about who we want. And oftentimes we can get stuck in the trap. And when I say we, I'm speaking for myself at any rate, is that I can get stuck in the trap of trying to turn myself into what I believe they're looking for, rather than actually being that person, so that it's, once that honeymoon period is over and we discover our true selves, instead of putting on the best front, in dating or marriage or whatever, that who you really are and who they really are is people that you like.
That's right.
That and that they're not surprised when your true self reveals its true self to them, and vice versa.
That's right.
So, and that has to do with like getting clear on who you don't want too, because that can really, like, the anti side of it can give you real clarity on who you do want, because that can help inform the other side of it too.
I fully agree, but there's a pitfall here that I want you guys to avoid. And the pitfall is, it's very, very, very easy, especially if you've had some bad or some negative experiences in or around money or in or around business or people. It's very easy to get stuck in your anger, resentment, and frustration about who and what you don't want, and not take the time to focus on exactly what you do want. And so I agree wholeheartedly, Joshua, that thinking in detail about who you don't want is super valuable and super important. And even if you can't think in detail about that now, believe me, if you get good at attracting who you do want, you're going to start knowing who you don't in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, if you got an existing business, just think about, like Telman was talking about, just think about who you've already attracted and who's already spent money with you. And then out of that subset, think about the people you love working with there.
And who are the total pain in the asses, like who take up all your time and don't give you any money. You want to avoid those people.
Right. But I think you're right, Telman. Start with whom you do want, and then lay over the filter afterwards of that now subset. Now filter down, who in that subset, is got to have the right mindset, the right attitude, the right open-mindedness, the right come from in their life, and to get the biggest benefit from working with you.
Right.
And I guess also it should be said that we're talking primarily about intangibles, right? Like education, information type products, software, SaaS system. Still a hard product. I still believe that you should approach.
You're getting a little choppy there, Joshua.
Okay,
you're back.
I'm just going to say, I still think you should lead with some sort of, relationship bonding and personality-based approach. But it is very different when you're selling a physical product. It's just when you get there. But you need to also think about the psychographic makeup of your clients, because we all have them, right? We have clients that we are just a joy. And if we had, 1,000 of them coming in every week, send me all of those that I can get. And likewise, if I have 1,000 of these ones that just, they hate me, I hate them. And then I get negative because I'm just, so dialed into that. Well,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very, very interesting. So for those of you watching, what are some characteristics of perfect clients and customers that you want to attract more of? Now, we're going to give you some examples, right? So, Joshua, let's just go back and forth and name some traits, psychographic, demographic, or otherwise, of the types of clients that we know we want to attract. You and I can just like volley back and forth, one to one. Just to give some examples. And I will start. I love working with serial entrepreneurs, people who are familiar with and have started multiple of their own businesses.
Yep. I love open-minded people that are willing to suspend judgment no matter how successful they've been in the past to try something different.
I find that working with entrepreneurs who have been willing to invest in high-level masterminds in the past and spend 10, 25, 50 grand a year on their education and their network are absolutely the easiest clients for me to work with and help get massive results really with our methodologies.
Sure. So much of what you said, there was little bing, 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 bing ideas that came off of that. Of course, now I'm forgetting them all. So I would say that people that can execute. Oh, I know what. So, people that can play the tape forward past 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week's time span, and are looking to build something sustainable, lasting, that can provide a continuity type income, a perpetual income, a perpetual platform that can continue to run and deliver results. That's a very different mindset than just cash flow only oriented business people that only think in terms of shit. Of course, cash flow is king until when you don't have it or when you need it. But I'm saying, like, it takes a very different type of focus or mindset to be willing to think about building a sustainable business model that actually has some equity to it that could be sold.
Mm-hmm.
if you just have a cash flow, if you have a healthy cash flow, like a launch process or some very successful campaigns that are kind of one-offs, well, then you can't really sell that, because once it runs its course, it needs you to get in there and, recreates the magic again.
That's right. I like drivers. I like working with, okay, let me be even more specific. I like working with experienced email marketers who have at least 3 or ideally 5 people or more on their team, and who have some not just significant, but some like, oh my fucking God, you did that successes under their belt.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people who've pulled off some crazy shit.
Yeah.
I love people who pull off crazy shit. And think big and go after big things, and don't let like little minutia obstacles get them dead. Right. So those are. So do you have any more you want to name?
Yeah, I mean, people that are already playing to win as opposed to playing not to lose.
That's
I
right.
think that's an important shift. Or I love are open and ready. They're your peers, but they're ready. They're not wannabes anymore. They may have been in the past, but they're ready to step into that, and they're open, and they realize that they've been playing not to lose. They've been playing a defensive game, and they're ready to be open and to suspend judgment and to be coachable, to learn how to play to win and to assume success.
We should do a live stream on that tomorrow. Are you playing to win, or are you playing not to lose? I know you say that all the time. We should do that on our live stream tomorrow.
Sure, let's do it. Although we're going to forget.
I know.
Just like we forgot to talk about.
That's a positive affirmation right there.
Yeah, well.
We're supposed to be talking about
entrepreneurial and zodiac signs.
Oh, yeah.
And the wooey meeting the real world. Although we didn't get anybody professional to do like tarot card readings.
Not yet, but we will. We will one day in the not too distant future. Okay, so this is phase 1. Step 1 is identify some of the characteristics of ideal customers and clients that you want to attract. And we just rattled off a bunch of things. So for our viewers, what types of characteristics do you want your perfect customers and clients to have? And this can be something you're guessing. Ideally, it's based on some experience if you have it. But if you just have to use your imagination, or you look at the ideal customers or clients of someone else who has the business that you really wish you had, that's another great way of looking at it.
That's a great idea.
Right. So let us know in the comments. So now let's rattle off a few things that we know that we don't want in our customers and clients. And
before we do, I just kind of want to point out, and maybe this is just our come-froms, but I want to acknowledge that neither one of us said anything about demographics. None of what we came up with had anything to do with demographics. It had entirely to do with psychographics.
That's true. Yeah, we didn't say age, we didn't say sex, we didn't say race, we didn't say
you intimated
where they live.
You intimated income with people that have had crazy, outrageous successes before.
I'd work with an Olympic athlete even if they didn't have any entrepreneurial success. I'd do that in a heartbeat. I'd work with somebody who's like scaled Mount Kilimanjaro. I would work with somebody who's like a professional deep sea diver. Like, yes.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean, assuming they're not a jerk and they have the right other qualities as well. But like for me, someone who like got into politics and got elected mayor, I would totally work with somebody like that, or somebody who like routinely saves babies from burning buildings. Totally, that's what I mean by big success, even if it's outside of the business realm. But what are some characteristics? I know that I can say some from experience. What are some characteristics that you want to definitely avoid in a client or customer that, for what we're doing right now with work that we're doing together with clients? Like what are some characteristics?
People that are victims, professional victims that would rather argue to be where they are rather than move forward and expand their vision. Yes, we all get pissed off, we all get frustrated, but I enjoy working with the people that say there is an answer to this, I just haven't found it yet, let's go
Right.
do this, that type of thing.
What is the opposite of a victim mentality? Because I get so freaking frustrated with victim mentality people.
I have an answer to that. I call it being responsible. Being responsible and being willing to, take ownership. The reason why I always stop when I catch myself doing, like when I say the word we or when I say you guys, and I always stop and back up and say, well, wait a minute. What I'm really saying is I'm really talking to myself, or when I
Right.
say you guys, I'm really, saying that this is me, so that I can take full responsibility without, pushing it off to somebody else. And I think that's a key point that connected to the victim mentality, the blame game, where you're always, and really, when you think about somebody that is stuck in that mindset, and it's easy to get stuck in that downward spiral, but when you see somebody that's there and that is arguing to stay there and has no interest in breaking out. I'm not talking about somebody that's willing to shift, that wants to shift, that knows that they're negative right now and they're open to, great. But argue that they're right, and that the only reason that they're arguing to be right is because they don't want to be proved wrong. Like they have zero
Right.
interest in, expanding a new possibility. Then there's nothing I can do with that, because you're always going to be blaming outside circumstances and conditions for your situation.
So this is a slightly different piece, but it's really valuable, and I do want to. I totally agree with you. I want to share a way that you guys can actually utilize this in your business to attract better clients. But first, so this is like the blaming filter, right? We'll talk about the blaming filter in a sec. Other qualities and characteristics that we want to avoid in clients. So we don't want victim mentality clients. I don't want business opportunity junkies,
Right.
like people that bounce around from network marketing opportunity to network marketing opportunity, or biz op to biz op to biz op, and
Aren't ready to step up yet.
yeah, people who are just chasing the money versus building a business so that it can give them the lifestyle and the freedom that they want, and ideally so that they can be creating products or services that are transforming the world in a way they're dedicated to and passionate about and actually means something.
Yeah.
That's where the motivation comes from.
Yeah, and nothing wrong with chasing the money as long as you're actually creating the value and, in alignment with everything else that we've been talking about. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Yeah,
especially if you're in the startup mode, right?
Yeah, but I mean, biz op junkies are like lotto scratch ticket people, and
Yeah.
at the
No, that's
it's like it's good luck, dude. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, what are you wasting your time, money, and effort and energy on? You could be like walking out in nature instead of scratching scratch tickets or chasing biz ops.
They got to be ready to play a bigger game. They got to be able to instead of it comes down to belief. Belief that it's possible not only to be done, but belief that that although they may not have been where they want to go yet, that they have enough confidence that they can figure it out, that they can, with the right guidance, the right insights, bam.
So, okay. So I could tell you a bunch of other characteristics that I don't want in people, but I want to give this one to you guys. So I think I probably learned this. I probably learned it from Kevin Nations, but maybe I learned it through just by studying the stuff beforehand. I don't know when I first learned it or first saw it. And it completely piggybacks on what you just said, Joshua, which is, and by the way, if you have like a pizza restaurant, or like you have a convenience store and you're selling gas, this might not apply to you. Okay. The concept probably does, but the specifics probably don't. If you have any type of coaching or consulting business, or often, even if you're a healer, okay, even if you're
in community in any way.
What's that?
building community in any way, shape, or form.
Yep. If you're going to have any kind of a relationship with your clients and customers, other than strictly transactional, if you're going to have any kind of communication relationship with them,
Or if you want to.
yeah, if you're an info marketer, coach, consultant, and or are considering selling a high level or expensive one-on-one consultation work, or any kind of higher ticket group coaching type programs, then this is a very important question. You can ask verbally, you can ask it in an intake form, you can ask it in an email, you can ask it in Facebook post. But basically, it's to ask the question about why they haven't already achieved their goals. And so here's how it works. The first question is kind of like, what are you looking to achieve in blank amount of time financially in your business? You know, how much money do you want to make in the next 6 months? You know, whatever. Okay, cool. Why hasn't that come to pass? Okay, why aren't you want to make $10,000 a month in your brand new business? Cool. Why aren't you already making $10,000 a month in your business? What's the reason? And you don't really actually care about the reason. I mean, the reason is good if you're going to take them on as a client and help them to bypass the challenges and problems that they're facing. But you're not looking for the content of what they tell you when you ask them why they haven't already achieved their business goals or whatever goals. You're
Right.
looking for whether they quickly and readily blame someone or something outside of themselves and cite that as the reason that they are unable to achieve their goals. For example, I just don't have enough time. There's not enough time in the day. Okay, I'm not making the amount of money that I want to make for my business because I don't have enough money. Which is a very silly but very common response.
My favorite filter for this. Do you want me to share it, or do you want me to just shut up and stay quiet?
I want you to share it. Go ahead. What do you got?
The way that I can, that you can think about this, because sometimes you can't separate the situation from the victim mentality, from the taking
Because
responsibility.
we all have crazy shit that happens that fucks our life up.
Yeah.
We all do, right?
So, I mean, here's the simple, I forget who taught this to me, but I learned it way back in like 95, 96, but no results plus a good story does not equal results.
Right.
And so you can run that filter through anything. And my key word that I use for myself is when I hear myself or somebody else say the word because, then I know a justification of a story is going to come, as if it makes you feel better to tell the story why you didn't get the results, or you didn't get the things that you wanted to have happen. And that's immaterial if you're looking to achieve it, and in fact counterproductive, because it gets you focused in on the obstacles as opposed to where you are going and where you want to go and
Right.
where you are now. And so, the only 2 points that matter are where it is that you say you want to go and where is it that you are right now. And in light of where it is that you say you want to go, did you get there? Did you move closer to it or further away from it? And, I'm using it as more of a concrete goal-oriented thing, but you can use no results plus a good story does not equal results on literally anything. And I believe it's a good indicator whether, people are willing to, step out of that victimhood when they hear that.
It's true. It's 100% absolutely true. The because thing can be a little tricky, because if you ask people why they are not already achieving their desired result, I mean, presumably they're going to give you a because, right?
Sure. That's a different example though, but I'm just talking about, when you're evaluating with no results plus a good story does not equal results.
Right.
And it's so funny how often, that happens with me, that I do it myself, where like I'm tempted to say, well, I was late because, like, I think I did it this morning. I was 1 minute late and I explained why.
Mhm.
And I didn't even realize it till right now, as if that matters.
Yeah, yeah.
Just
Good old
acknowledge it and move on.
fashioned. Yeah. But this is the thing, guys. So if people cite themselves as the reason for their failure, so for example, I'm not making $10,000 a month because I haven't yet found a good traffic source that works for me and my business, but I'm looking for one. And that's one of the things I'm trying to figure out next. Or I'm not making $10,000 a month because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's because I suck at copywriting and my sales letter doesn't convert. I'm trying to figure it out. Everything else on my website seems to be working fine. I'm getting traffic. I have an email list, but nobody's buying my stuff. I think I need help improving my sales letter and my copywriting skills.
Sure.
Okay. I'm not making $10,000 a month because I started this journey 17 days ago, and my funnel's almost launched, and I have a few more days left of work to do on it before we can go live. I mean, and I'm working toward that, but you know what? The technology is really complicated, and I need to learn more. Yeah, I need to understand how ClickFunnels works more, and because there are some things that are really tripping me up. Those are all examples of in my opinion, of people who would be a great potential customer or client because they're blaming themselves and citing the skill or resource they need to acquire in order to achieve their dreams and goals.
And I wouldn't even use the word blame. I don't believe they're blaming themselves. They're acknowledging that they're taking responsibility, that they're at the root of it. And by taking responsibility that it's on them, that automatically empowers you, because you can say, well, then it's under my power to figure out the answer. Maybe not personally, but I can, figure it out. And that to me is just an empowering state of mind to be in.
That's right. That's right.
Practical point.
But it's something that some people grow up and they have good examples from parents or other, adult figures in their life. They learn how to do this. Some people learn how to do it just through sheer luck. And some people realize at some point in their life, often in adulthood, that they are blaming everyone and everything for all the things in their life that are screwed up. And blaming other people, other things outside of yourself does one thing. It disempowers you, and it disempowers your ability to do anything about your current personal situation. So if you find that you feel that you're being treated unfairly, if you find that the world is out to get you, if you find that everything is against you and that you have it harder than everyone else for this reason and this reason and this reason and this reason and this reason, and if you are dedicated to that line of thinking, you will never succeed as an entrepreneur. Okay? So if you're dedicated to blaming other people and other things for all the horrible things in this world that are fucked up and are making your life suck, that's okay. But don't try to be an entrepreneur, because you're going to hate yourself and everyone else, because as an entrepreneur, everyone's against you. Everything's against you. All the odds are against you, and you're going to fail over and over and over and over and over again. That's the deal. If you're not willing to plow through that stuff, you don't have what it takes, in my opinion.
I agree. I think you said it best a little bit earlier about, you're in a great state of mind when you're focused in on, what you can do about it. It doesn't mean that you're not frustrated. It doesn't mean that you don't get, pissed off. It doesn't mean that you don't get overwhelmed. All of that is true. And what it does mean, though, is that you have this, this vision that says, I'm going here. I don't know how, I'm not there yet. I don't know how I'm going to get there yet, but I'm confident that I'm going here. Why? Because I said so. Period. End of story. Full stop.
That's right. So, and it's important to realize that when you make these types of declarations, especially if you haven't done it before or not to the degree that you want to, it can feel You can feel nervous. Sometimes you can feel out of alignment because you're trying to declare something or give yourself affirmations or say things or believe things that aren't already true and you haven't experienced. And sometimes it can take a while of training your brain how to shift and think in this new way, but I assure you it is possible. I assure you it is possible. So having a proactive mindset around, okay, here's a problem. What can I do to fix it? Or how can I find someone or something to help me overcome this
There's
obstacle?
got to be an answer. Let's just find it.
Rather than getting stuck in whiny little victim mode, because it won't move you forward. It'll just keep you stuck in whiny victim mode. And you know what? When you're in whiny victim mode, so many people in your life will say, I know how you feel. You're right. Everything sucks. Everyone's the economy's depressed. We can't leave our homes. There's terrible things happening everywhere. The police force sucks. The political situation sucks. Blah, 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 blah. And like, it does, but it doesn't matter. That's the thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, and that's a tough place to buy into when you're not in that space yet.
Yeah, you have to hang out with more people that are there, right? Oop. Joshua, you got all frozen up there for a second. Oh, you're back.
I mean, sometimes you can celebrate the small victories. Like, let's say you're in suicidal depression and you don't move to being empowered and sunshine and lollipops and all of that, but you move to being goddamn fucking pissed off at the world. Well, that feels a whole lot more empowering than being suicidal.
Hiding under your covers and not being able to get out of bed. Yeah.
Right. I mean, and the people around you might not want you to be in anger. They'd rather that you go back to being apathetic so that you don't bug them and that you just, let them run buckshot over you. But I mean, so that is, I mean, it's up to you to make those determinations about what is the improvement. But if you focus in on steadily making those improvements rather than getting sucked into the negativity and that thing, we attract who we, whatever we put out, we attract to us. It's kind of like Facebook's algorithm, right? Where they're giving you more of what you already believe, what you already like, what you're already into based upon your past behaviors, not what you say, but what you actually behave in, what you're doing, where you're going, and those types of things. So, if you're in a negative where all the posts that you see, all the live streams are kind of negative or whatever, then it's because that's who you've been, attracting to you. And, my suggestion is to, change that, because in reality, the people that want to hear about the crap and want to commiserate with you, is like half of them are happy that you're worse off than them, and the other half want to prove why they got it worse than you do, right? And that's a race, as Seth Godin says, that's a race to the bottom.
That's right. So again, this is why we want to focus on attracting the people into our lives and our business that will help to uplift us, that will help to get us to where we want to go, and that we can help get them where they want to go. And the clearer you get about this, the more customers you'll have, the more clients you'll have, the better their experience will be, and the better your experience will be as you progress forward.
For sure.
So, guys, if this is resonating with you, if you want to build your own platform so you have a steady stream of fans, customers, and clients that are ideally suited for your personality and your business to be coming in the door every single day, then we've got something cool for you. So I'm actually going to, so this is a very cool assessment tool that, that Joshua put together, but I'm not going to give everybody an invitation. So I'm going to read it to you out loud so you can hear what you're getting into. But basically, we have this really cool tool that you can use in order to ask yourself some questions and take a real look at Does your business have a platform, and do you need one? Would this be helpful to you or not? What's standing in your way of getting all the customers and clients that you're really looking for? Because there's some very common pitfalls here. And so if you're interested, first of all, in building a real platform for your business, type platform into the comments right now. PLATFORM, platform.
Sustainable business model that can run long term, that eventually will run with or without your direct efforts and input.
And this absolutely involves building a large email list with steady streams of traffic coming in on an ongoing basis, in case that is unclear, right? So
that's the heart of it, for sure.
So Joshua put together a platform audit checkup. And it's a series of questions that are going to really get you thinking about where your business is at, where you want it to be, and see, hey, how's my platform doing? Does it need some help? Do I really want to grow this thing? It's totally free to do, but we're not going to give it to just everybody. If you want to check this out, type platform into the comments and then shoot me and or Joshua a private message, and we will give you a private link. So here's how it works. It says, get your platform audit checkup. Get the specific personalized direction you need to grow your business, practice, and or following online. Welcome. Glad you accepted our invitation to access this special online diagnostic assessment tool. We're excited for you to experience the meaningful momentum that comes with the full clarity about your current situation and the progress toward building an online platform that can become an income for life marketing engine. After Telman and I, Joshua wrote this, after Telman and I have personally reviewed your submission, we'll be in touch with the necessary feedback that is specifically customized just for you, so you'll know the exact next steps for success. But if you're like many of our clients, the unique insights that you're going to gain from this process will move you forward with confidence, because you know that it's the right action plan for you to implement with certainty. A blueprint that is designed with and for you and custom tailored to you and for your specific situation, so it meets you exactly where you are precisely and adapts to your individual needs, wants, and future goals. Because as we've discussed, when it comes to our health, the prescription without diagnosis first is malpractice. This statement is common sense. So the waters are going to get really murky when it comes to our professional lives and achieving financial stability and freedom, right? So take a few minutes, tell us about yourself, your current situation, about the unique challenges that you're facing, about your business background and experiences, and most importantly, about the specific outcomes that you are looking to experience with the online platform you're building and its potential to be the first income for life marketing engine for your business or your practice. Your assessment is confidential. Any background that you share with us will be kept in a cone of silence. You can rest completely easy and absolute confidence, because we respect and value your privacy as well as the trust you're showing us. Only Joshua and I will be reading these responses. The entire goal is to give you more clarity about where you are and where you want to go. You'll also give us the insight that we need in order to best help you build your own custom blueprint. And if your checkup assessment indicates that you're a good fit, to continue the conversation in a private one-on-one momentuming session with us personally. Anyway, the whole purpose of the eye-opening process is to raise your awareness and guide you past the 3 success blocks so you can enjoy a new world of greater possibilities, abundance, and have the time freedom to make the most of it all. So all you need, so it gives you some instructions after that. But basically, it's a 5-minute assessment. It's real quick and easy to take. And it will absolutely get you thinking more clearly about how to build your platform and what the necessary steps are in order to move forward. So I'm going to go ahead, and we're pushing out to like 5 different platforms or 7 different platforms right now. So we need to kind of individually go and make sure that we get everybody. But if you said platform, make sure to send me a private message, and I will go ahead and send you the link that you need. Joshua, is there anything else that you have to say about that?
No, I thank you for reading it. It was fun to hear it in somebody else's voice. Alan Morgan inside the Art of Email Marketing group is the one who that you don't have a name on.
Oh, cool. Awesome. Great. Well, guys, so yeah, if you want to get involved with the platform assessment tool, then just go ahead and type platform into the comments and shoot me a private message, and I will send you a link.
Cool.
Awesome. Great. I think that's all for today.
Sounds like a plan, man. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody, and we will talk with you very, very, very soon. Have an absolutely awesome rest of your day. Over and out.
You too. Bye.
Bye, guys.